Hi, welcome to Wikifiends. I'm your host, Joe.
I'm David.
We're going to be reading some Wikipedia articles and chit-chatting about them. Tonight, Dave and I are together, live! So, it's exciting.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's jump right in. Alright? The first one article I have is John Henryism. John Henryism is a strategy for coping with prolonged exposure to stresses, such as social discrimination, by expending high levels of effort, which results in accumulating physiological costs. The term was conceived in the 1970s by African-American epidemiologist and public health researcher Sherman James, while he was investigating racial health disparities between African-American people and others in North Carolina. One of the people he interviewed was a black man who, despite being born into an impoverished sharecropper family and having only a second-grade education, could read and write. The man had freed himself and his offspring from the sharecropper system, had 75 acres of farm land by age 40, but by his 50s had hypertension, arthritis, and severe peptic ulcer disease. His name, John Henry Martin, and his circumstances were evocative of folk hero John Henry, an African-American who worked vigorously enough to compete successfully with a steam-powered machine, but died as a result of his effort. James developed a scale for measuring JH based on agreement with a series of statements, such as, when things don't go the way I want them to, that just makes me work even harder, and I've always felt that I could make of my life pretty much what I wanted to make of it. Men who score higher on this scale generally have higher blood pressure than men with lower scores. This effect is strongest in those who are poor. Studies have found that African Americans with high JH scores are less likely to be current or former smokers than African Americans with low JH scores, and that African American college students with high JH scores were less likely to have carried a weapon on campus for self-defense, more likely to have been arrested for driving under the influence, and more likely to have missed a class due to alcohol use. So I think it's kind of interesting.
It's so specific. Like, we think this group of it's like educated black kids who like to drink a lot but don't like to carry. It's like so fucking specific. Like,
well, I think those aren't effects, but those are sort
things
of
with JH syndrome.
Blah, blah, blah. Commonalities.
What is it? JH? What is it? What's the name of it?
John Henryism.
John Henryism, and
abbreviated as JH. Yeah, I think the first part about how stress is leading to poor health. I think that's pretty widely held belief.
Yeah.
I mean, I think recently there's been something about stress having nothing to do with ulcers, or at least some ulcers. I think that's been a thing that's come out recently. Mm-hmm. I know for a long time it was sort of a thing like or maybe it was coffee. I don't remember. It was one thing that was like a commonly held belief was shown to be probably not true. Mm-hmm. But I think the high blood pressure. I think all that's pretty standard for high stress things.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is that it draws a correlation between high stress or it tries to make a causal link between having these things and having high stress for being in a low socioeconomic group or facing a lot of social discrimination.
Right. Is there like a moral aspect to it too? That these tend to be kind of more like this happened to good kids, kind of a thing.
I don't think it says whether or not the kids are I don't want to say kids, but whether or not the people are good people.
Right.
Just that they're prone to hard work, right. Which is seen as a virtue a lot of the times.
I guess that's what it is. It's a collapse while doing like a virtuous thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you draw from it, it's probably a thing like if these people were hard workers and they weren't facing this discrimination,
right,
they probably wouldn't develop these ailments, and they'd be able to lead fuller lives, more productive lives, and live longer. So it might be trying to postulate that social discrimination should be eradicated on the grounds that it, as an overall effect, it will create
suicidal.
Well, it would reduce. It would eliminate. It would eliminate
right
wear on individual bodies and allow people to live longer and therefore more productive lives. Add more to society or whatever.
Right. They wouldn't be just this race with death.
What do you think about the weapon thing on campus?
Well, that was one of the things they said, that kids who are more likely to have it were least likely to have it.
They said specifically African. It looks like the study may have only been done on African American people.
Right.
But it said African American college students with a high John Henryism score are less likely to have weapons for self-defense, but on school grounds, but more likely to have been arrested for drunk driving and to have missed classes due to alcohol use.
I'm saying they're not crooks, they're drunks.
Yeah. Well, not even that they're not crooks,
right?
But that they're less concerned about
force.
Yeah, or about defending themselves through force, and they're more likely possibly to relieve their stress through alcohol use.
Yeah.
I mean, do those? I guess it. I don't think there's. I don't think one thing, is a cause for the other thing. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like they seem kind of. I mean, it's just something that must have just came out in the data.
Yeah.
Like not like anything. Maybe they were. I don't know. Like it's
not
just,
any direct link.
I don't see the correlation. I mean, well, let me think. It's like alcohol use.
But I don't think there has to be a direct link. I mean, it could be a thing of like a thing. Granted, it's specifically African American, so it could be a thing like they've worked hard. Maybe it's a thing like an elder family member, a mother or father's like, don't get caught up in guns and go to college, do your work. That's how you get ahead.
Right.
And then possibly also, it's more acceptable to drink to relieve stress,
right?
Just because it is, it is a acceptable thing generally. So it could be just as simple as that. It doesn't go into it. It was just an observation. What they got in. You have anything to add, Dave?
I'm just thinking about it. I know I should not do that. No, I feel like there's a lot to unpack with this. It's like I'm having difficulty getting my head around it a little bit. But I mean, it's a mythological character who worked himself to death. And then,
he was a real person.
Was he a real person?
Yeah, John Henry was a real person.
Okay. So it's not like Babe in the Blue fucking Ox and all that shit.
No. Paul Bunyan. No, right? He's a real person.
Right.
He's like Johnny Appleseed.
Right. That's right. But to work yourself to death.
Well, it's not. They're not literally working themselves to death, but they are working themselves into a
like high stress,
ravaged body.
Right. They're ravaging themselves.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything. I think it makes sense on the surface. I don't think you need to go. It doesn't seem like there's enough to call it a John Henryism. It just seems like stress affects your body.
Yeah, it kind of seems like they're just people with high stress.
Yeah,
what? Just tying it to it just makes it more colloquial.
It doesn't seem like it's. It doesn't seem like the difference between the racial discrimination, stress,
right,
and the effects it has on your body is really that different from other non-racial stresses.
Was it always like it's this ambition? It's the stress of ambition, of being an ambitious person, right? Because
to overcome. So like if a let's say a racist white man is like, well, black kid can't do anything,
right?
And then the black kid works even harder to disprove that,
right?
It's saying the effects on the body come from that.
Right.
Come from that working to disprove that.
The challenge.
But it seems like anyone that works too hard,
right.
Quote unquote, can develop, stress related ailments.
No, and I guess that it's this particular type, this in the socio ethno context of it, it makes kind of sense culturally, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird one, right?
No, it's like it seems very American. It'd be odd to tell
Well, it specifically says African American.
Okay,
so.
African Americans, right.
I mean, maybe I don't know well enough to say black people in other Western countries,
right.
Like black people in England have this thing. Although I think.
Was there a context on this? Is this like a thing that's still really common, or is it? It's like a thing that's.
It just seems like this one epidemiologist, Sherman James,
mm-hmm.
Did an investigation in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Racial health disparities in North Carolina, and this Sherman James doesn't have the name there. It has a red hyperlink. So there would be no page for him, So, I don't know.
I mean, it's effective shorthand.
Mm.
And it's like a cultural reference everybody knows. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, everyone's heard John Henry.
Yeah.
You hear it when you're a kid, I imagine you still hear it as a kid.
No, and there's a kind of fortifying thing about it too. There's kind of affirmative,
mm-hmm.
Aspect to it.
It is a positive. You're saying,
right? It's like you're suffering from Caesar's disease or something.
Well, I don't know. That's
Well, that's maybe bad. But it's kind of you've got folklore disease or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Folk hero.
Well, yeah. All right, so do you want to go on to yours?
Yeah, sure. So I have a category. I'm just going to run through a couple in there. And the category is obsolete occupations. And it is a category of jobs that have been rendered obsolete due to advances in technology and or social conditions. And it's got a lot of funny stuff on there, like soda jerk.
You said soda jerk, right? Not circle jerk?
Soda jerk, circle jerk. I mean, it's got a lot of silly old shit, like Legionnaire, City Guard.
City guards have been sort of replaced by police and then private guards. And I guess they still have Legionnaires, but I don't think
City Guard is that's a fucking extra in a game. It's funny to think of that as a job.
Well, I remember
Town Watch, yeah, Town Guard, City Watch, yeah.
I remember when I I don't think I was a kid, but I was younger. I had a weird it was a weird Star Wars pop-up book about one of the guards that got in the Return of the Jedi, the Sarlacc pit, the Jabba the Hutt. It's about a guard that worked at the pit.
Mm-hmm.
It's very odd. It was a guard that also got swallowed, I think, by the pit.
Just a short story.
It was his daily life, and it was really good though.
What was it? A kid's book?
Yeah, it was a pop-up book. It's kind of a weird just for
Is it a licensed franchise?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, they have some good like expanded universe stuff.
It is funny when they just kind of let them run wild.
Yeah. So what else is on the obsolete job list? I feel like they would have soda jerks in like Brooklyn or like
yeah, like reenactors.
Yeah, or like Austin, Texas or something.
Yeah, like right, yuppie part
like
of
that.
town.
That would be the thing, you know.
That's like smoothie places a little bit or something.
Yeah. Usher probably like movie Usher.
Yeah. No. Wait, hold on. Let's go far back, like court dwarf.
That sounds good. Is that like a court jester?
Yeah.
And not like a court artist?
No, dwarf.
Yeah, no, I know.
This is ridiculous. Like, they said that court dwarfs enjoyed their specific placement right next to the king or queen in a royal court during public appearances and ceremonies. Because they're so small, the king appeared much larger and visually enhanced his powerful position. Their whole job was to make the king look bigger. Like, that is fucking psychotic.
That's like
it's like fucking inhuman. Like,
well, I mean, do you think they had a better life than if they weren't a court dwarf?
Yeah. Someone said you could become a court dwarf. Take them up on it.
It seems like it would be better than to have a shitty
No, but like, listen to this. They're treated like fucking like shit.
Yeah.
Like, some of the first dwarfs to have their histories recorded were sometimes employed as court dwarves. They were owned, exploited, and traded amongst people of the court for crying.
Oh God!
And delivered as gifts to fellow kings and queens. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's not like someone like that has a job. It's just like, yeah, you can have this little guy too. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
it's horrible.
It's kind of like the thing with the Kid Rock. You remember that little?
Mm-hmm.
I guess other people do it also.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know. Whatever. I don't fucking know. What the fuck do
It's like a novelty thing also.
Right.
Which I really don't like. I don't. Not that I think it's like mean to dwarves or to little people, but I just don't find it humorous at all. Like a person that's just a short person.
Mm-hmm.
I find nothing funny in that.
Yeah. Wow.
What are you still on the dwarf thing?
There was this fucking Richburg. This fellow began life as a servant in the Orleans family. In later years, he was their pensioner. He was said to have been put to strange use in the French Revolution, passing in and out of Paris as an infant in a nurse's arms, but with dispatches dangerous to carry in Richburg's baby wrappings. Wow. He lived to be fucking 90. That's crazy.
When was this?
1756 to 1846. He was only 23 inches.
That's short.
Yeah.
I'm 69 inches. It's on my license.
Jesus.
Is there any more good
dog whipper? A dog whipper was a church official charged with removing unruly dogs from church grounds during services.
I like that.
They were the most prominent in the areas of England and continental Europe between the 16th and 19th centuries.
I would like that job.
So that job existed for 200 years at least.
Yeah. I would want that job.
Those employed for the position were given a 3-foot-long whip and a pair of dog tongs, which they were with the animals. They were given the task of keeping stray animals away from the church and preventing communion bread and priests from being assaulted.
Oh, God.
Like, the dogs were so bad, he couldn't even, like, the priest couldn't break the bread without, like, dogs running out. Jesus fucking Christ.
It seems like a Dickensian thing.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
I feel like that this is my job sometimes.
Do they have any famous dog whippers?
Yeah, their fucking dynamic story. Listen to this, though. It was not uncommon for household dogs to accompany or at least follow their owners to church services at this time. If at any point they became loud, fought with other animals, attacked congregation members, and were otherwise disruptive, it was the job of the dog whipper to remove them from the church to, well as allow the service to continue in peace. So, like, it was not just stray dogs. It's just people's fucking home dogs they'd bring with them.
So it seems like a cyclical thing of, like, people bringing their dogs into, like, Starbucks or something. You thought that was a modern phenomenon, but it was really just something that's been going on for ages.
It's very modern. You can't tell me I can't bring him in here.
I think the bread thing, like a communion wafer, like a dog that got in the wafers.
Well, like the implication that they're just everywhere and they get thrown out when they're bad. So that means during all the rest of it, they're just fucking. You know what I mean? It's just this real like ragamuffin view of society.
Oh god!
Like you've always got your little yellow dog, like that's fucking like. It's very, like, charming. Like, it always seems like fucking, like, Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
Listen to this. The dog whipper's whip survives in St. Anne's Church, Baslow, Derbyshire. And a dog whipper's pew is preserved in St. Margaret's Church in Cheshire. A notable carving of a dog whipper removing a dog with his whip can be seen at the Great Church of St. Bravo. It says, with the advent of animal shelters, this job became obsolete.
That's too bad.
Yeah. And here's another one. A poor master. It's similar to a paymaster. Most of the states in the early United States had their own poor master. The duties were to validate those who applied for relief and issue funds. The job was often a political cincture before the 1930s. However, the job was not around without its risk. Those rejected often held grudges, and poor masters were sometimes guarded by police officers during the Great Depression. Harry L. Bark was one such. He was held the position of poor master in the city of Hoboken, New Jersey. He was killed by Joseph Scudderloo, a frustrated applicant, on February 15th, 1938. Scudellero, who killed Bark with a spindle, received 2 years in prison. The occupation ceased to exist in the 1940s with the advent of the social assistance.
That one's not as interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a clerical job.
I need more good jobs.
Yeah, you want me to just read some?
Yeah, sure.
Cup bearer.
That's good.
Some of them just seem like they're like literature roles. Like, they don't seem like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it sounds like a almost like the Aquarius water bearer.
Yeah, like some of these I get. Like,
all right. Well, my next topic is Microsoft versus Microsoft. Microsoft versus Microsoft was a legal dispute between Microsoft and a Canadian Belmont High School student named Mike Rowe over the domain name Microsoft.com. Case received international press attention following Microsoft's perceived heavy-handed approach to a 12th grade student's part-time web design business and the subsequent support that Rowe received from the online community. Background. The domain name Microsoft.com was initially registered by Canadian student Mike Rowe in August 2003. Rowe set up his site as a part-time web design business, choosing the domain because of the phonetic pun by adding the word soft to the end of his name. Microsoft saw the name as trademark infringement because of its phonetic resemblance to their trademark corporate name and demanded that he give up the domain. They sent a letter. Microsoft offered to pay Rowe's out-of-pocket expenses of $10, the original cost of registering the domain name. Rowe countered, asking instead for $10,000, later claiming he did this because he was mad at Microsoft for their initial $10 offer. Microsoft declined the offer and sent a cease and desist order spanning 25 pages. Microsoft accused Rowe of setting up the site in order to try to force them into a large financial settlement, a practice known as cyber squatting.
I see.
Rowe went to the press, created publicity for the case, and garnering support for his cause, including donations of over $6,000 and an offer of free advice from attorney. At one point, Rowe was forced to take down the site when it was overwhelmed by 250,000 page views over a period of 12 hours. He got the site back up. The case was portrayed as a David versus Goliath struggle by the media, characterized Microsoft in a negative light. The resulting bad publicity was later described as a public relations mess. Showing of public support for Rowe was credited with softening Microsoft's stance, leading to an eventual settlement. 2004, both parties came to an out-of-court settlement. Microsoft took control of the domain, paid all expenses, and set up a new site that redirected traffic to micro forums. It additionally provided Rowe with a subscription to the Microsoft Developer Network, an all-expense-paid trip for him and his family to the Microsoft Research Tech Fest at their headquarters in Redmond, Washington, training for Microsoft certification, and an Xbox with a selection of games.
Wait, why are they kissing his ass so much?
That was part of the settlement.
Oh, I see.
Also, they got a bunch of really bad publicity for going after a 17-year-old, possibly 18. Following an online poll, Rowe donated most of his legal defense to a children's hospital and used the remaining money for his education. Now here, after settling the dispute with Microsoft, Rowe attempted to auction off the documentation he had received on the online auction site eBay, describing it as a piece of internet history. The materials included one copy of the original 25-page cease and desist letter, as well as an inch-thick WIPO book containing copies of trademarks, web pages, and emails between him and Microsoft. Auction received more than 1 million page views, and bidding rose to more than $200,000. But most of the bids turned out to be fraudulent, and it was reset at the reserve price of $500, and it sold for $1,037.
Well, they got that.
Microsoft later admitted they may have been too aggressive in their defense of the Microsoft trademark. Following the case, it was suggested by Struan Robertson, editor of Outlaw.com, that Microsoft had little choice but to pursue the issue once it had come to light, or they would have risked weakening their trademark. This view was also espoused by ZDNet, who noted that had Microsoft knowingly ignored Rowe's site, the company would have risked losing the right to fight future trademark infringements. Robertson opined that had legal proceedings ensued, Rowe would have made a strong argument for keeping his domain, as he was using his real name and was not claiming to be affiliated with Microsoft. So it's kind of like, he could have won, you know? I mean, they could have buried him in, in like court, in a court briefs or whatever, They could have buried him under legal work. But it seems like he could have had a good case for it, because I don't think you can trademark a name that sounds like the name of the thing you own, especially if it contains the name of the other person, Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they offered him all that sweet shit, that. Fuck it.
Well, he did get an Xbox, with selection. But it was the first Xbox, so not as good as one of the newer ones.
He's like, I don't have to fight anymore. They'll give me tight shit. Everything will be cool.
Well, he got trips and stuff.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was into tech, so it's possible he wanted that.
They probably knew that. They're like, we'll give you a tour with Bill.
No, it's much smarter to
settle like that.
I mean, because even if you think about the lawyers, it's much easier to be like, oh, come out.
Right.
Because A, you're getting good publicity. B, you're possibly getting a future good employee.
Yeah, they're like, oh, sure, we'll train you up, whatever. Let's see what we can do.
It's like a path of least resistance thing.
Yeah, just absorb him.
Yeah, good hand motion.
So, I've got one more.
Oh, that's it?
Oh, about Mike Rowe?
Yeah.
Man, like, I don't know, didn't even make of that story, like, because, like, I kind of, like, I mean, it's your fucking name, I guess, like.
We don't have to go on if you're not interested.
No, it's just, like, it's kind of a tough one, like.
I'm on Team Mike Rowe.
Which?
I'm not, I guess each thing is fine, but.
No, like, it's his name. They were rude as fuck about it. Like,
well, the $10 offer is kind of like, he's not going to take that, right?
Yeah, that seems a little insulting.
It's like, even if they were going to lowball him, they could offer something more than that, you know?
Right.
Because they're probably paying, whoever's dealing with it, they're paying more than $10 to deal with it, you know?
He probably was fucking around. They're like, well, how much would you give me? I'm not going to name a price. You name a price. And so they're like, all right, dude, here's a price. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then don't start with 10, you know?
Yeah. I'm saying he might.
What if he was jerking them around? They could be like, well, we're not going to do anything. We'll see you in court, you know?
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah, that seems a little throwing the gauntlet.
The article itself doesn't state that he refused to make an offer.
Right.
So you got to take it on that.
Yeah, true.
It's weird though to like the whole thing with like intellectual property stuff, like trademarks or like a company name. It's so weird to be like, well, I have to not only protect my own name, but to protect things that sound like what my name is.
No, there's like a weird. It's frivolous.
Yeah.
It's extreme. I feel like that should have been.
And it's not a thing that people confuse because it's not like it's a.
No. It's so stupid.
Well, it's not like if you say Microsoft out loud, you know, verbally, it sounds like Microsoft.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna. It's not a thing that's going to be seen or heard verbally. It's going to be the thing that's read online. Microsoft.com.
Right.
So there's no confusing it, you know?
Yeah, no, not at all. Like it's just real like anxious, like it's like real knee jerk. Like.
That's a cute name, also.
Well, it's kind of like the baby spelling of Microsoft.
It's like a phonetic spelling.
Yeah. But that was going to be our baby website, like Microsoft.
All right. So, what's your next topic?
All right. So, this one's pretty gross. It's the Droit du seigneur.
Okay.
Also known as just prime noctis. Refers to supposed legal right in medieval Europe and elsewhere, allowing feudal lords to have sexual relations with subordinate women on their wedding night.
Mm-hmm.
There's no evidence of the right being exercised in medieval Europe, and existing reference to it are from later time periods.
Mm. Yeah, that was a thing that was in Braveheart.
Was it?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even remember that.
And they also made a reference to it in an episode of The Office.
The French expression roughly translates to right of the Lord. But native French prefers the terms right of the leg, right of the thigh, or right of the first night. That's the Latin, the just prime noctis.
Yeah. Prima noctis, first night.
Right.
Yeah. Now, do you think a modern version of this would be a good sub-channel on Reality Kings?
Good sub-channel?
Well, I don't know. There's sub-network. Or sub-site. Sites in the network.
I mean, well, it is. It's like fucktheboss.com or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like...
Well, this is more like the boss fucks you.
Well, you know, I was thinking about this, like, because, like, a lord, like, right of the Lord, like, the Lord was, like, the fucking chief of police and everybody's boss. Like, you know, it's this fucking like triple authority figure.
Well, it's essentially rape.
Well, it's rape by this like more like a crazier overlord than anybody in the modern world would. Most. Like,
I guess it would be like if the president raped
first
you.
world country. Yeah, I mean that's what it's like. The mayor, it's fucking and like. It's like the right of the mayor to rape.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Night,
but it's not. It was not it didn't happen. It's a.
Well, it said it did in later years.
Well, it says it did or it didn't happen in medieval times, but it was purported to happen in early times.
Yes.
So which is it? It did happen in later times, or it never happened, but it was purported to have happened after the fact.
Well, listen to this. Mm-hmm. Herodotus mentions a similar custom among the Dermachiite, or I don't know, in ancient Libya. They were also the only tribe with whom the custom obtains of bringing all women about to become brides before the king, that he may choose such as are that are agreeable to him. They say that the medieval marriage fine or merchet has been interpreted as payment for the Droit de seigneur to be waived. So marriage tax was,
okay,
I won't rape the bride.
Yeah. It's a clear case of coercion.
Of force, right. It's just like, right.
No, it's not good.
Where else? No, I mean, there's a couple examples just from different places. Nothing really. It's all pretty much the same shit.
Yeah, well, not good anywhere. Not good in my book.
Yeah, it's listed as a feudal duty, medieval legend, and then, of course, history of human sexuality, reproductive rights, and rape. Because that's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I'm going to go on record that neither of the Wikifiends are rape apologists.
That's right.
Yeah. Against it. All right, well, do you want to get on to the gay game? All right, so here's how the gay game works. I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia's list of gay, lesbian, or bisexual people. I'm also going to be sprinkling in some people who are not gay or bisexual.
Allegedly.
Yes, they're not on the list. And Dave's going to guess their orientation. All right. So first up is film director Kenneth Anger.
Gay.
All right, yeah, it's it.
I know Kenneth Anger.
I know. I'm giving you a softball.
All right.
An easy one. Second one is Billy Joe Armstrong, frontman of Green Day.
I could see him, like, identifying as bi. Like, I'm going to say straight.
He is bi.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I had it.
That's what it says on the list.
All right, who's next?
Singer Tori Amos.
Straight.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
She is not on the list. Our final one is Trey Anastasio.
Fuck, I don't know who that is.
He's a singer and guitarist for the band Fish.
Straight.
Yeah, you got it.
He's straight as hell.
Yes, you got 3 for 4.
3 for 4.
3 for 4. So
pretty good.
Pretty good run. I think you did better than last time.
Oh, yeah?
You might have done the same, though, so.
3 out of 4 is not. What was it?
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Only one time I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, got you on the Billy Joe.
Well, you throw me some easy ones.
No, the Kenneth Anger was a
giveaway.
Playing softball on that one.
Billy Joel's a little more kind of like, if you just didn't know, if you weren't like in the know with the Joe.
He doesn't seem like anything to me.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm like. He seems like
a non-sexual entity.
Yeah, that you should like trip me up sometime. Like they don't like none.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right. I did good.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll play. Joe has to guess who won the worst picture in film based on a year.
It's a Golden Raspberry Award.
The Golden Raspberry Awards.
All right.
So I'm going to read you the nominees from 1980s.
Okay.
Cruising. The Formula. Can't Stop the Music. The Jazz Singer. Friday the 13th. And Xanadu. Which of those? I can read them again.
I'm familiar with Cruising. That's that Al Pacino gay one, I think.
Yes, it's the cop.
I've heard Can't Stop the Music's really bad. I know Jazz Singer, I think it was Neil Diamond was in it. I think it was in Roger Ebert's hated this movie. And I know Xanadu is very much reviled. I'm going to guess the Jazz Singer.
Wrong. Can't Stop the Music.
Ah, shit.
Next. 81. Heaven's Gate.
It's Heaven's Gate. It's got to be. Go on, though.
Do you want to hear the rest?
Yeah, I'll hear the rest.
Mommy Dearest.
Yeah, that's not... People don't like that one either.
Legend of the Lone Ranger.
I don't know it.
Tarzan the Ape Man.
I'm going to say Heaven's Gate because that was a huge failure.
Wrong. Mommy Dearest.
Really? I like that movie.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with all these.
It's political.
82. Annie.
Okay.
Megaforce.
Annie Megaforce or two different things?
Two different things.
All right.
Butterfly. The Pirate Movie. And It Chon.
I have no idea any of those except Annie.
It's Aichon by Mitsuhiro Aishi.
I have no
it's
idea what that
Japanese
is.
movie.
All right.
So let's skip ahead to 85.
Okay.
Fever Pitch, Rocky 5, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, Year of the Dragon.
I don't know.
Fever Pitch, Rocky 5, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, Year of the Dragon.
Is it Year of the Dragon?
Wrong. Rambo, First Blood Part
Really?
2. I remember TriStar movies. I like TriStar.
Yeah, they are good. It's a good opening title sequence. Or opening logo thing.
Let's jump ahead to 89. Karate Kid Part 3, Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier, Roadhouse, Speed Zone.
Roadhouse?
Wrong. Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier.
Shit. I'm not very good at this.
You don't know how the system works.
All right. Keep going.
Excuse me. 1995. It's Pat the Movie, Waterworld, Showgirls, Congo.
That's hard.
They all are awesome.
I don't really like It's Pat that much.
That's personally your least favorite.
I do like Waterworld quite a bit. I never saw Showgirls, but I was recently looking at pics of Elizabeth Berkley in it. I don't like her hairdo.
Which is it?
She has frizzy hair in it.
No, I said, which do you think?
Oh, Waterworld?
Wrong.
Showgirls, yeah.
It's a notoriously bad movie.
But Waterworld is like the biggest money loser, or at least it was until something recently. I got to keep going. Do I get one? What was the year that Ishtar won? Was that 86? Or did Ishtar not even win?
I don't know. I don't know.
What won in 86?
86?
Yeah.
It was Howard the Duck.
That makes sense. Was Ishtar nominated that year? Was Ishtar 84?
87.
Did it win?
No. Leonard Part 6 with Bill Cosby.
God, I'm not good at this at all.
You don't know nothing. All right, let's go to...
Don't ridicule me.
Let's jump ahead.
Okay.
Let's get some... I think maybe we get some more modern shit.
All right.
1999, Big Daddy, Blair Witch, Star Wars Episode 1, Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West?
Yeah.
Yes!
That was a very shitty movie. All
I
right.
like that movie.
You might get these a bit quicker now.
All right.
Year 2000. Flintstones, View Rock Vegas, goddamn. Little Nicky, Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
2001. Driven, Pearl Harbor, Glitter, Freddy Got Fingered.
Freddy Got Fingered.
Yes, Freddy Got Fingered. Glitter.
That's supposed to be really bad also.
Yeah, I've heard that. 2002. I don't know these. This Adventures of Pluto Nash, Crossroads, Star Wars Episode 2, or Swept Away.
Is it Pluto Nash?
Nah, it's Swept Away.
I don't know what that
I don't know that one.
I like Pluto Nash though.
Okay. Yeah, no, I do. I think I've seen parts of that.
It's got Randy Quaid as like a robot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's very odd, and they've got like weird guns in it, which I like.
No, it's like it's like Blade Runner essentially.
Yeah, I think Rosario Dawson's in it. I like Eddie Murphy. Keep going.
No, I'm kind of losing. When it gets too modern. All right. The Last Airbender, Sex and the City 2. This is 2010. Twilight Saga, Eclipse.
I would imagine it would have to be Last Airbender.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. All right. Should I do worst actor for you, or do you want to try the opposite? You want to do Academy Award winners by year?
No, I do. Yeah, I do. I don't know. Do like screenplay or actor or something. That's fine.
All right.
And just like read me 3. I was trying to parse them down.
Okay, all right.
There's like a big fucking list.
Do you want to try worst screen combo? Worst. I'll give you a choice. Worst actor, worst actress.
Let's do worst actress.
Actress. All right. So let's start in the 90s, all right?
Right.
All right. We're going to start in 93.
Okay.
Sharon Stone for Silver. Demi Moore for Indecent Proposal. Madonna for Body of Evidence. Janet Jackson for Poetic Justice. Or Melanie Griffith for Born Yesterday.
I feel like it's going to be one I have no idea. I'm going to say Melanie Griffith.
No, it was Madonna. This
Madonna.
one's not as interesting.
I feel like the individual actor ones.
Yeah. This was a bad call on my part. Elizabeth Berkley won for Showgirls. And then in 96, Demi Moore won for both The Juror and Striptease. Whoopi Goldberg was nominated for 3 in 96. Bogus, Eddie, and Theodore Rex. Yeah. It seems like they just have... Oh, they nominated Fran Drescher for Beautician and the Beast. I like that movie.
Oh.
All right, shut up.
It's funny.
98 Spice Girls won for Spice World. Yeah. All right. Well, you think we should call it a night? You got anything else?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's very non-committal. All right. Well, this has been Wikifiends. I just want to get a little plug out. I've got a post-apocalyptic tarot deck that I drew and I created and I wrote the description booklet for. It's called Omega Land. It's available on Amazon, other places, mainly Amazon. Check it out if you're into either post-apocalyptic or tarot. It's got a game built into it also. I'm Joe.
I'm David.
You got anything you want to plug, Dave?
Nah, next time.
All right. Sounds good. All right, and you can reach us at wikifiends@gmail.com. Thanks, and have a good night.
Good night.